Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, despite the NCR Plus bubble setup for the next 2 weeks, experts say it's unlikely for COVID cases to significantly drop during this period. Amid the surge of cases, Malacañang rejects calls to abolish the COVID Interagency Task Force. And the search is on for a Sambayan coalition to find a candidate who will represent the opposition for the 2022 national elections. Senator Nancy Binay joins us live. Active cases of COVID-19 reached an all-time high on Tuesday. More than 86,000 are currently sick from the coronavirus, surpassing the August 15, 2020 record of over 83,000 active infections. Amid the rising cases, Malacañang rejects calls to abolish the COVID-19 Interagency Task Force. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the IATF was very successful until the new variants emerged. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Senator Nancy Binay. Senator, good to have you again. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Pinky, and syempre good morning to all your viewers.
Let's start with the COVID numbers. Senator, I wanted to get your reaction on this. So from a high of 8,000, yesterday we recorded 5,800 new cases. Ang sabi po ng iba, back to square one tayo. Sabi po ni Secretary Cabral, former DOH Secretary, we're not back to square one. We're actually 10 steps back. How would you describe the situation we're in right now?
Siguro at this point, Pinky, mas nag-agree ako dun sa observation ni former Secretary Cabral na we're not back to square one. We're baka nga at this point more than 10 steps behind dahil the numbers are much higher compared to last year. So ibig sabihin nun, we are worst off.
How and why do you think we got here?
Well, unang-una, I think every time na may policy decision na gagawin yung IATF, parang the science was not always considered. Parang umabot dun sa point na nabaliwala yung science at mas inuna yung ekonomiya. Alam ko, it's very difficult balancing health and the economy. But para sa akin kasi, for as long as the health problem is there, mahihirapan talaga yung ekonomiya natin makabangon. So, di ba, Vicky, naalala mo, naglabas ng policy yung IATF na pwede magbukas yung sinihan, pwede magbukas yung mga arcades. Tapos biglang nagulat itong mga doktor natin na parang, why are you doing that? So yung mga ganong opening up of the economy without setting the standard para tama yung pagbubukas natin.
Sabi po ni Secretary Duque, Senator, ang ilang mga posibleng cause ng pagtaas ng mga kaso natin. Una, yung increased mobility dahil nga, of course, kailangan buksan yung ekonomiya at yung virus mutation. And of course, yung public, nagkaroon nga ng tinatawag na COVID fatigue. Hindi na tayo, in general, the people, hindi na nagko-comply with the minimum health protocols. In fact, yung nga daw, yung like not properly wearing the face masks and face shields. Yung pong lahat ng mga events na yon, would you agree? Nagsama-sama ho yun?
Well, yes, but it was a combination of all those things. But kasi yung direction came from the national government. For example, Pinky, alam naman natin na contagious yung new variants, di ba? And then alam din natin na nandito na sa bansa natin itong contagious variant. Anong ginawa ng IATF? We opened up the economy, di ba? And then paulit-ulit nilang sinasabi na wala pang community transmission, okay pa tayo. And then all of a sudden, ito na, kalat na pala dito sa buong Metro Manila itong bagong variant. So yung parang from day one when we had this COVID-19, laging hindi tayo, yung approach was not proactive eh. It was always parang okay lang, and then all of a sudden, sumasabog na sa atin yung problema. So siguro baka it's high time na let us accept and let us parang face that the problem is big and we have to do something about it. Kasi yun nga yung nagiging direction eh. Parang okay lang, chill. And then yun pala, malala na yung sitwasyon natin.
You pointed it correctly, no, Senator? Sabi mo nga, nung lumabas itong mga new variants, hindi pa rin masabi kung meron talagang community transmission. So, in effect, hindi tayo, from my understanding, hindi naging proactive ang gobyerno, naging reactive ang gobyerno. You know, when the cases started to rise, when was that? Maybe, I would say, a week ago siguro, si Secretary Duque, hindi ho ba? Well, he was much criticized for this on social media. I don't know if you saw this, Senator Nancy. Umikot siya, may dala siyang meter stick, at namigay nga din po siya ng mga face shield. Opo. And as I mentioned a while ago, medyo it did not sit well with the public kasi that was done a week ago.
Yun na nga, and di ba parang, I guess, almost everyone's guilty. But siguro bahagi na rin yun ng COVID fatigue. Kasi di ba, Pinky, makikita natin yung mga celebrities, yung mga influencers, di ba parang everyone's going out, going to the beach. So I think it also created the perception na we are back to normal. But at the end of the day, that will not be our new normal anymore. We have to learn how to live with a new normal. Kumbaga, bago na yung way of life natin after 1 year of lockdown. It's not gonna be the same. And sa akin nga, dapat sana, nung 1 year tayong naka-lockdown, tinuruan na yung ating mga kababayan, ano ba yung tamang proseso dun sa, kumbaga, living with the virus, di ba? Siguro, for example na lang, Pinky, yung pag nag-positive ka, parang back to square one nga tayo ngayon eh. Yung, kunyari, pag nag-positive ka, parang kailangan turuan ulit kung ano yung proseso ng reporting, yung contact tracing, di ba? Parang walang na-set up na protocol this past year na dapat kahit nakapikit tayo, alam na natin kung ano yung dapat natin gawin.
Do you think, Senator Nancy, na-set up ang protocol pero nakalimutan natin? Or hindi talaga na-set up ang protocol? Which one would it be?
I guess it's a combination of both. Diba? Kung, remember, yung apparently, kung hindi pa lumabas na nagka-surge ulit, hindi natin na malalaman na may malaki pala tayong problema sa contact tracing, na yung pondo is only good for June para dun sa mga contact tracers natin. And then, up to now, we don't use technology for contact tracing. And it's been a year. So sana, dapat lahat yan na nagawa na set up na. But apparently, hindi nagawa.
Ano ang palagay niyo dito sa NCR Plus bubble? Palagay niyo ba makakatulong ito significantly to reduce the number of cases? At least, tingnan po natin yung susunod na 2 linggo.
Well, I want to be optimistic, Pinky, pero parang hindi eh. Kasi well, una-una, yung policy for our public transportation, di ba? Hindi naman nila binaba yung capacity. So, ako din, since day one, I've been pushing na bakit hindi natin payagan na mas maraming jeep, mas maraming bus ang pwedeng lumabas at a lower capacity, di ba? Bakit hindi ganun yung ginawang policy? But kasi nga, we need to reduce yung physical interaction at this point, physical contact at this point, di ba? And you can't do that kung ang capacity is more than 50%.
While it's not a lockdown, no, government obviously does not call it a lockdown. Marami po mga businesses and employees will still be affected by this NCR Plus bubble. Sabihin na po natin, yung restaurants, karamihan ho ng restaurants talagang dine-in, alfresco na lang po sila. Yung mga gyms, there was a decision, of course, very recently, wag na ipagpatuloy. Isara po yan, internet cafe, spas, etc. Senator Nancy, how can government help? Kasi hirap na po yung tao at ngayon, yung mga affected sectors, muling mahihirapan. Meron pa ho bang any form of cash aid siguro na pwedeng maibigay?
Yun yung malaking tanong, Pinky, kung if there's funds. But at the end of the day, we have to look, we have to check dun sa budget kung alin doon yung pwede nating bawasan para mabigyan ng ayuda itong mga kababayan natin na for 2 weeks mawawalan ng pagkakakitaan. Ibig sabihin yan, wala silang pambili ng pagkain, wala silang panggastos for them to survive every day. I would assume na there's room sa budget na pwede munang gamitin ng BBM para mabigyan ng ayuda itong mga kababayan natin.
But as senators, meron ho kayong magagawa to push this suggestion forward?
Right now may pag-uusap baka magkaroon ng Bayanihan 3. So this is something na baka pwedeng idagdag na parang may standby fund doon na in case na magkaroon ng granular lockdown or kung ano man yung bagong term dun sa quarantine or lockdown, may mabibigay na ayuda dun sa mga kababayan natin na forced to not go to work.
I want to bring in, Senator Nancy, this tweet by Liza Soberano. It garnered kasi, it got a lot of comments. Some, of course, supporting, and there were those against. Basahin ko lang po. My heart bleeds for all the people who cannot afford not to go out and work. They literally have to choose between dying of starvation or dying of COVID. Is our country really this poor to not be able to provide stimulus? Genuine question lang po. Siguro yung tanong niya, marami rin ho ang nagtatanong nun.
Alam mo, Pinky, yun din nga ang namin, di ba, we passed Bayanihan 1 and 2. Tuwing nagkakaroon kami ng committee hearings, we asked the agencies kung kumusta na yung paggastos nila dun sa pondo na binigay namin sa kanila. And talaga nagugulat kami kasi yung iba sa kanila, kakabigay pa lang ng pondo. So, ibig sabihin nun, hindi pa siya na ibababa dun sa ating mga kababayan. So, isa din tong aspeto doon sa executive department on how they can fast track the spending. I think there's funds na pwede pa nilang gamitin. Meron siguro doon na mga nakabudget na pwede munang i-delay or baka pwede for the next year's budget na lang at gamitin na lang muna kung paano natin matutulungan itong mga kababayan natin na nawalan ng trabaho. I think the latest figure is almost 4 million yung
4.5.
yung walang trabaho. I don't know kung kabilang pa doon yung at a certain point or a certain time frame, mawawalan sila ng trabaho. Kasi di ba, ganun yung lumalabas ngayon itong mga nagtatrabaho sa restaurants. Like for 2 weeks, wala silang trabaho. And hopefully after the Holy Week, makabalik na sila. But at some point, we need to help them during those 2 weeks for them to survive.
The Health Department is issuing a fresh warning against those violating the government's priority list. Doon po sa coronavirus vaccinations. We're going to ask Senator Nancy Binay about that after the break. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today is Senator Nancy Binay. Senator, yung IATF, meron na pong ilang senador. Senator Amy Marcos sinabi na demolish the IATF. Sabi niya, palitan na nga yan. Start from scratch. Meron din po, I think it's, let's go back to last year, hindi ho ba? Ilan sa inyo ay humingi na ng pag-resign ng isa sa kanila, which is Secretary Duque. Do you believe it's time to abolish, adjust? Si Senator Recto, ano ho ba sabi very recently, kailangan daw, hindi na change oil, kailangan change engine at change driver?
Ako, I agree with Senator Ralph Recto na baka gano'n na nga yung kailangan because kumbaga they had 1 year to fix the problem but nasan tayo ngayon? We are worst off, di ba? So baka kailangan ng major changes dun sa mga policy makers natin when it comes to COVID response.
Who do you think should be changed there?
Ako siguro baka dapat mas may boses yung mga from the medical profession. Because at the end of the day, this is a health problem. Ang paniwala ko kasi we should always follow the science, di ba? Nakita naman natin yung composition ng IATF. Mukhang may kakulangan pagdating dun sa ganong aspeto.
Sabi po ni Secretary Roque in response to buwagin ang IATF, well, among the siguro replies was he said na, we were doing an excellent job before the surge. Yun po sabi niya. At recently, ang sabi nga niya, tanggapin po natin o hindi, nag-mutate ang virus. Hindi naman daw siguro kasalanan ng IATF na nag-mutate ang virus. Just a quick reaction on that.
Well, una-una thinking, dapat natin sabihin na we have never flattened the curve. Diba? Kaya nga, at least doon sa ibang bansa, like in Europe, kumbaga nakaka-third wave na sila. Technically, tayo, we're still in the first wave with the hardest kind of lockdown. Tayo lang ata yung nag-implement ng kailangan face shield. Sa Asia, tayo lang yung hindi pa nagbubukas yung eskwelahan. All over the world, we're one of the 14 countries na wala pa rin schooling ang ating mga kabataan. And then now, kumbaga sa mga numero, mukhang mauunahan na natin ang Indonesia pagdating dun sa problema sa COVID. So, parang mahirap sabihin na naging excellent tayo at any given point.
Even before the March surge, you mean? Senator, sabi ko nga po, last year, a number of you, majority of you called for the resignation of Secretary Duque. Are you still repeating that call now?
Yes, parang I still believe na baka Secretary Duque is not the best person to handle our COVID problem. Lalo na ngayon. Diba? Parang thinking naman, nakakalungkot at nakaka-bother na yung Secretary of Health natin ay ang ginagawa, namimigay ng face shield, di ba? The solution is a lot bigger than distributing face shields or going out in public reminding them to wear their face mask. Ang daming pwedeng utusan na mga staff na pwedeng gumawa ng ganong trabaho.
Let's talk about the vaccination. Senator Ping, may tanong ho siya, hindi ho ba? Nasaan ang bakuna? Marami na rin pong senador na nagtatanong nasaan ang bakuna. Sinagot po ni Pangulo yan about Monday night, I believe, 2 nights ago. Ang sagot nga ni Pangulo, yung pera nasa bangko at didiretso yun doon sa pagbibilhan. So, Senator Ping reiterated his question, nasaan ang bakuna? What are your thoughts on the vaccination program?
Well, unang-una, dun sa pag-procure pa lang, talagang nababagalan na kami. I think majority sa Senate, yun yung sentiment. Nahuli tayo sa pag-procure ng vaccine. And then, ngayon naman na may dumating ng bakuna, mukhang we are also not doing a good job kasi ang baba nung vaccination rate. And then, I think sa news today, nakakabahala, there's 7,000 AstraZeneca vaccine na mukhang hindi na magagamit kasi apparently yung third party na logistics na na-hire ng DOH, sira pala yung temperature nung yung refrigeration nila or whatever. So ngayon, ayaw na nilang gamitan kasi baka wala ng visa itong AstraZeneca na bakuna. And may shortage and then there's like 7,000 vaccines na hindi na magagamit. Technically, that's 3-5 na tao na pwedeng bakunahan, di ba?
Actually, 7,000 po yun ngayon kasi di ba ang plano na nila, everyone gets a first dose. Hindi nahihintayin yung same batch sa second dose. Yung susunod na batch na lang para mas maraming mabakunahan. So technically, 7,000 pa ho yun. But what about yung mga mayors, Senator, na nagpabakuna na? You have Mayor Romualdez, Mayor Peña, I believe, of Cebu, and some Bohol mayors. Si Mayor Romualdez, ang sabi nga po niya, he admits it, he'll take responsibility for it dahil it's his way. Hindi daw for personal yon, para daw po maengganyo ang mga healthcare workers with doing something like that. Kayo po, anong palagay nyo dito?
Well, naniniwala din naman ako na, kasi di ba, Pinky, may problema din tayo dun sa pagpayag ng ating mga kababayan sa pagpapabakuna. And naniniwala ako na pag nakita nila na yung mayor nila nagpapabakuna, mas maiengganyo sila magpaturok. But at the moment, the policy is for the mayors not to get the vaccine. So, for as long as ganun yung polisiya, dapat sundin na lang muna natin, di ba? Until baguhin yung policy na payagan na itong mga mayors na magpa-vaccinate.
Okay. Merong bagong opposition coalition that was recently launched. Ito yung Isang Bayan, and one of their prospective candidates to run for 2022, I see Senator Nancy Binay. Will she run for president? Kasi hanggang 2025 pa siya. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, Senator Nancy Binay. So, Senator Isang Bayan, kayo po ay kino-consider to run for higher office. I don't know if it's president or even vice president. I know sinabi niyo na po earlier that you're a mother, hanggang 2025 pa ho kayo, you want to spend time with your family. So ang tanong ko na lang po, is there anything that will make you change your mind?
Well, at the moment, Pinky, wala. And, well, it's not really spending more time with my children. It's more of, alam mo naman yung pinagdaanan ko from 2013 when I ran for my first term, di ba?
Right.
And then nung 2016 na talagang grabe yung ginawang paninira sa pamilya ko. And running for a higher office means my family will have to go through the same bad way of campaigning, di ba? And I don't want to subject them to that.
Ganun ho yun. Yung senator, meron ho siguro ilang miyembro ng Isang Bayan who were probably not very supportive, no, of your father or your family in the past. Tapos ngayon, you're being considered by Isang Bayan. So, well, let's first find out, is there truth to that? Meron ho ba talaga doon sa coalition ngayon na hindi naging very favorable sa father mo o sa inyong pamilya?
I think, Pinky, kumbaga, the news reports would validate that na merong mga kasapi dun sa coalition, dun sa One Sambayan na was not really for my father during the 2016 election. And in fact, iba, meron din doon na participated or naging bahagi din dun sa paninira. But sa akin nga, and sa akin parang tapos na yon. Naniniwala din ako na dapat paghandaan natin yung pipiliin natin for 2022. Parang ngayon, nararamdaman natin kung gaano kahalaga, kung sino yung pipiliin nating ama ng ating ng bayan. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, sabi ko nga, Pinky, kawawa yung magiging susunod na presidente because it will be very difficult.
Yeah.
Yung paglubog o yung pag-angat ng nating lahat nakasalalay dun sa magiging presidente natin. Kaya napakahalaga na pumili tayo ng isang pangulo, ng isang vice president na magsasama para maiahon tayo dun sa sitwasyon natin.
So gaano ka-importante sa inyo, Senator, na hindi nga, let's say, hindi nga po kayo tatakbo dahil hanggang 2025 kayo, na sumali sa isang party or coalition na inyong pinaniniwalaan at iyong sosuportahan?
Ano ulit yun, Pinky?
Kasi it's very important, di ba? You're right, ang dami nagsasabi, yung susunod na presidente at vice president, matindi yung kanyang trabahong kakaharapin. Dahil hindi po kayo tatakbo, sabi nyo. how important is it for you? For example, let's go that yung isang bayan, no? Meron silang okay ka naman sa president and vice president nila. Would that make you join that particular coalition?
I guess, di ba, kung yung pagsasama-sama namin would lead dun sa pagkapanalo na sa tingin namin makakatulong sa ating lahat, I am okay with that.
So
Sabi ko nga sa'yo, hindi naman ako nagtatanim
ng galit.
sama ng loob
Opo.
ng Pinky, di ba? Ang sa akin lang, well, kaya hindi ako tatakbo kasi I don't want my family to go through that. Ako, kaya ko. But I don't know if my kids or even yung mga pamangkin ko can go through the same pain, di ba?
Yeah.
So ngayon, for me, kung pareho kami ng napili, talagang 100% makikipagtulungan ako sa kanila.
Okay. Last question, Senator. What do you think of your thoughts on Sara Duterte-Rodrigo Duterte tandem?
Ano nga ba yung sinabi ni Senping na that has not happened yet? But I think at the end of the day, di ba, pareho naman silang pwedeng tumakbo. I think yung criteria for them to run for president or vice president, walang prohibition sa kanila. So if they think na makakatulong sa ating bansa yung ganung Duterte, I mean, everybody's free to run.
Okay. Senator Nancy Binay, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras and please take care.
Thank you, Pinky, and ingat sa lahat.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.